Hey, this is Brian, the creator of Smart Connections, the Obsidian plugin that shows you content from your notes in real time based on the current note that you're looking at so that you can spend more time making notes and less time organizing, tagging, linking, and otherwise managing your notes. I wanted to answer a common question that people have about the Smart Connections plugin. That is, what's the difference between note level and block level embeddings? So, to start, note level embeddings are embeddings that represent the entire note. So, to better understand this, let me help you better understand an embedding. An embedding is a mathematical representation of the content that represents the semantic meaning behind the content. That's how we're able to find similar content without using keywords or other more typical matching methods. What happens is, instead of comparing the content, this mathematical representation is used to calculate what you can think of as distance between the two embeddings, or between the embedding of your current note and all of the other notes in Obsidian. So this way, Smart Connections can show you the notes that are nearest or closest based on the distance between the embeddings. Now, what are block level embeddings? How the block level embeddings work to surface relevant content is the same as with the note level embeddings. What's different is the scope of each embedding. So, while note level embeddings represent the entire note, a block level embedding represents an excerpt from the note. This facilitates long notes with many headings and many subsections, and particularly solves the issue where the note is longer than the amount of content an embedding can represent. The OpenAI embeddings have a content limit of around 30,000 characters. And many of the local embedding models have a much smaller input size for the embedding. So, by turning on block level embeddings, you are enabling Smart Connections to split up the note into multiple excerpts. And when Smart Connections is showing you relevant content in the Smart View or retrieving notes to use as context in the Smart Chat, instead of only being able to retrieve full notes, Smart Connections is able to retrieve excerpts from notes. You may be wondering whether or not you need block level embeddings, and the answer is it depends on your personal note taking style. If you are somebody that has many notes, but the notes are relatively short and lack structure like headings, then you probably do not need block level embeddings. However, if you have many very long form notes that are well structured using headings, then you will get a lot more value out of activating block level embeddings in smart connections. So, to recap, note level embeddings represent entire notes, and block level embeddings represent excerpts from notes. I hope that answers your question about the differences between note level and block level embeddings. Looking into the future, I think that there is a lot more opportunity to explore the shape and size of what I'm at this point calling block level embeddings, which I'm kind of regretting not calling excerpts because that's essentially what they are. But basically, different ways to slice and dice your notes to make them more valuable for use as future context. There's a lot to explore in that regard, and I look forward to doing it with Smart Connections. So, thanks for watching. I hope your question is answered, and I look forward to seeing you around the Smart Connections community.